They're pulling out all the stops.
Yep, they aren't changing anything because it's been working. So once again, the Caitlyn ban comes out, the Nidalee ban again, and you have to keep thinking, as TDK, if you think Apex are going to continue to first pick the Ryze, what is it worth? What are you getting back for it? Before, they got Ekko Graves and they got Ekko Kindred on TDK side. I don't think you need to pick Ekko that early on when you see the Ryze come out, unless you're really afraid of Keane playing mid lane tank Ekko.
Yeah, and there's the Ryze ban out of TDK. Now that means both Rek'Sai, Graves, and Kindred are open for Shrimp. That's 3 picks, one of which he's pretty likely to get.
It's probably... So what you can do here as Apex is you can not ban Poppy and first pick it.
Yeah, because you see that the Ryze is banned away.
You first pick Poppy.
And you force their final ban onto Poppy if they want to get it.
Yeah, exactly. Or I guess you can ban it and then first pick Ekko yourself, take it away. See what happens here, but that's definitely something a little bit different, but they dropped the Azir ban for it.
Yeah, Rek'Sai is the pivot for TDK. Still banning out Shrimp's 2 primary junglers, but that puts Cris on that tank lane top Ekko.
Yeah, I don't know how much they were really afraid of that Ryze. Apparently enough to ban it over the Azir. I think Alex can deal with it, but the Ryze was kind of shutting down OQ. Maybe that's why they wanted to take it away, because it was just such a big pick for them. But I don't think the Ekko is going to be any less threatening to TDK.
Now TDK looking for the answer. Graves and Kindred are up. We'll see which one they decide to prioritize.
You could get both here. You could take both of them away. I mean, if you leave Graves up, that's the threat that it gets taken away by Keane.
Oh, the Azir Kindred combo. Interesting decision.
All right, all right. Yesterday, we saw Keane pull out Jarvan the 4th mid against an Azir. It's something that was also played over in the LCK. It's something that Jat foresaw happening when he was talking about the Jarvan buffs, where it could be a counter matchup. See if we'll see it here again. Shrimp hovering the Lee Sin. There's no real reason for him to deviate, but he could end up picking it to kick Kindred out of the ultimate and make sure that you're going to at least kill somebody very quickly. It's also the champion that he played when he substituted in for energy, and it was not a good performance. So,
ooh, Gragas being hovered now. Instead of kicking one person out with Lee Sin, why not kick all of them out with Gragas? Or instead of just taking it back, he's just running the whole gambit of, hey, I can ruin your Kindred's day with all of this displacement. But whoa, that's a Keane last-second pickup. Keane, yes. Jhin, last-second pickup. We'll see if that goes to Police.
Yeah. He's been there the entire time.
Yeah.
So, Jhin for Police, I believe he played it yesterday at some point. I think he just got collapsed on over and over and over again, and it was not a convincing Jhin, but this puts him, once again, very far away. It allows him to actually have some assistance and utility to the team, and that's how Police plays, right? He's got Shrimp on his team, he's got Keane on his team, and he's got Cris. He's got 3 people who are very capable of carrying this game. If he could play a utility AD carry like Jhin, who also is a little bit of a lane bully, Sivir, or even Ashe, then Police is in a good spot for helping Apex, and that's the role he can fill no problem.
Yeah, it looks like the answer immediately locked in is Ezreal for OQ, and now Trundle locked in. We'll see if Flarezs gets to take it top into Ekko, or if Trance is going to be snagging at bottom. Braum is still open, along with Alistar, so we'll see how he decides to answer. Now Apex, they've been relatively flexible with their team composition so far. Seems like they might go for that once again. Twisted Fate being hovered right now, and Karma and Twisted Fate are locked in.
Oh, man. Karma plus Jhin is incredibly annoying. If you get rooted by one of them, you're getting rooted by the other one, and Jhin has movement speed on his crits. Well, he gets even more movement speed from the Karma. The Karma is going to accomplish a little bit, something quite similar to what the Sivir was accomplishing for this team when Police was picking it. So I'm excited to see Xpecial play this. His Trundle was taken away. It looks like it might be the support Trundle here, and since Xpecial knows those matchups, I'm excited to see what he's going to be bringing out in this lane and how he's going to be playing it.
Yeah, finally, Trance looks to be getting the counter pick on Maokai for the answer of TDK. If you can't kill Ekko, well then just sustain him.
Yeah, you need a frontliner here. You need something that's going to soak a lot of damage, that can lock up, that can flank, but you have an Azir. Azir, for Alex Each, is going to do a lot of work here. They picked it very early, and the Twisted Fate was what they decided to counter with on Apex's side. So multiple tanks here.
It does seem like a bit of a departure from Flarezs' playstyle, the I'm going to kill you or die trying. So we'll see if he can successfully adapt to that, as Kez going back to that Kindred. Not successful in game number 1, though he did farm up and get stacked. Just wasn't able to convert.
Yeah, you want to take that away from Shrimp. And Shrimp is now going to be playing the Graves. It's not for Keane in this mid lane. And playing Maokai against Ekko is an interesting matchup. I'll put it that way, because Maokai, low mobility. Once you actually get on him and get a small advantage as Ekko, you can stay on him forever. The slow, the movement speed increase for yourself, and being able to dodge and actually re-close the gap is huge for Ekko, and his cooldowns are way lower.
And once again, Keane is back on that Twisted Fate, so we could see him try to harass top once again like he did yesterday, like he did in that previous game. But now's the time to update your vote on Twitter. I'm sure this is going to be the 3rd time most of you are voting. Hashtag APX win or hashtag TDK win, and we'll see how you're calling this series once we get into game. But again, this is a lot of pressure. Once again, Apex are on a lot of comfort picks and a lot of strong champions. It's up to TDK to bring it to them in this final match. What could be this final match?
Yep, that's true. Apex could 3-0 sweep, and that would be even a better performance than what they had put up against TDK previously. And now these may be the final champions that they are going to play here. And decent amount of comfort across the board. Alex on a carry champion that takes a decent amount of time to scale. Keane, multiple ways to affect the map now. He has his TP on top of the TF Global. So honestly, it's what bit TDK in game 1 not having a global on Alex, and Alex has cleanse now to try and deal with what essentially is the root from Police, maybe the stun from Ekko, things that you can see coming, but it's mostly for that gold card for Keane. It's a much lower cooldown though, so it's going to be interesting. I want to see how Alex plays with it, but yeah, this matchup, not sure how much you should be bullying this if you're the Maokai.
Yeah, already chunked down to half. Even with the Doran's ring start, yeah, that's going to give you just a bit of damage and mana regen, but Cris is more than happy to take that trade as he lands his Z-Drive Resonance. Looks like we are seeing a bit of a lane swap, though, as OQ and Trance are on that top side. There was an aggressive ward placed out by Cris when he did go for that harass onto Flarezs. And in fact, the lane swap is called and answered by Apex as they send their duo to the top side and their jungle and top laner down to the bottom.
I'm checking to see if it was spotted out at all, because the wards, it's funny because as they were traveling, TDK continued to ping out the wards and where they were. So both teams look like it didn't actually know the other one was going to the top side of the map. The only clue you really got was they saw Xpecial walk to the left side when he left the river. So
Police takes some punishment, but Xpecial has got his back and chunks Trance down low. He's going to have to try and regenning up nice and quick.
Yeah, Jhin Karma may be a lane that you don't have a lot of experience playing against, so I can understand the lane swap from TDK wanting to have OQ get some free farm, especially against the Jhin, who's a big lane bully. And OQ's Ezreal, it does need some time to stack up when he gets that tier. So he's going to have a time where he's very low on combat stats and has a power trough that he has to get through. So you can see he's already shoved in by Police very early on here. It's not something we've been seeing this series.
Yeah, it's typically been OQ who's been the aggressor, taking it to them with the Swifty boots and the high long-range damage. But this time around, Police and Xpecial are the aggressors. Oh, Police will take a turret hit.
Yeah, a little bit of follow-up there, but Xpecial got the shield on him, so Police doesn't take too much damage, but he chunks out Trance a decent amount. No wards down for Apex just yet, and both junglers, of course, by their route, start bottom camp, buff, and then go to the other buff, and you can see Kez already completed it. Kez on his way to this top side already. Xpecial very far forward.
Caught by the slow. There's the Pillar of Filth. It's going to find Xpecial. He's slowed down. No heal is used. It was actually used earlier. That's first blood for Kez.
Yep. Very quick jungle clear there. No wards were down, and that was the oversight. When you are playing Karma and you are constantly shoving a lane forward, you have to ward. You basically have to tell yourself, I can't go past this midpoint unless I have a ward down or I spot the jungler somewhere on the map. And that was the oversight there. It was a very early gank. Normally you expect it around 3 minutes and 10 seconds. and it was a little bit earlier than that. And they wanted to ward, but it was at 3 minutes exactly when he started running into that lane.
Excellent timing from Kez to open this up, and that's the advantage for TDK early on, and that's significantly going to help decrease the aggression in that lane. Try to curb the enthusiasm of Police and Xpecial with all of that harass.
Yeah, but Kez now with that kill, see what he's able to do. He hasn't backed yet. He actually has Keane marked, and Keane spotted him, so Keane knows that he's walking forward here, and he's called Shrimp up.
Could be looking for a counter. The gold card is ready. There's some damage. Kez is able to tumble away. Alex goes in. Flash used by Keane. Shrimp trying to hold on to his own as Trance joins up for the flank.
Oh, man. So, yeah, Shrimp got to back, so we got to put the red smite down onto Kez, take a little bit less damage, and also get that damage over time on him. And, man, this matchup is just not that great for Maokai. It really is not. It is so difficult to navigate. Just out damages you, out mobilities you. All you really have over him is instant root.
Yeah, so far the early aggression for TDK has been paying off. Shrimp is heading towards the top lane along with Cris.
For the dive.
He's going to find Cris. He doesn't have level 6 just yet, but he has so much damage. He's going to have to get out of the turret, flashes, and makes it away before the next shot can find him.
Quite easy there. One of the reasons that Apex uses Shrimp is so he can camp top lane. When we got to interview Cris in the middle of the season and asked him what's up with having two really good junglers and not releasing one of them, it's like they both have different strengths. Shrimp loves to play the top side of the map, loves to play towards Cris, and this is why. Gets him ahead, gets this Ekko even further ahead in this matchup that he was already dominating, and then he loses that gigantic wave. Flarezs is so far behind now in CS, in experience, gold, and Cris is going to have a field day here, and he goes first item Sheen just to bully this matchup even more.
Going to be a difficult lane for Shrimp. Yeah, as he tries to head back on down. And that's the difference that we're seeing so starkly between these two playstyles. Kez already on the top side of the map. He's prioritizing Alex. He's prioritizing OQ. Xpecial and Police, the wave is being shoved in, so they will have the safety of their own turret for now. And this gank is going to be unsuccessful for Kez as he heads towards the top side. And finally decides to head back into his own jungle and farm it up.
Can't waste any time. Kez actually goes for the Tracker's Knife. Typical Kez style, not going for the aggressive jungle item that's going to give him some damage, but instead going for the vision, playing for the team. And he was very active in his series against Dignitas. Kez actually had a series that people were not expecting him to have. He had a really good day 2 days ago, trying to dig deep and try to come up with another performance like that.
Well, now's the time to do it. Ooh, the Azir slide finds Keane. He tries to path around. Oh, the Destiny Gate doesn't channel in time. Locked down and picked up by Alex.
Super good by Alex there, just to slide in, shove him off to the side where we did have Kez, and Kez gets a mark from that.
Cris trading it off with Flarezs. They're trying to get some damage across, but Cris still has his chrono break. Shrimp is on this side as well, but the ward,
they're gonna try to dive.
Man, has 10 seconds left.
Okay, so
and Kez is on that side of the map.
Yeah, he spots him over there. Yeah, they actually have that pink ward that's on the other side of Maokai is actually an Apex pink ward, so he's not safe at all. Really good. Kez off on the side. They know Keane does not have his flash, and Alex cleanses just to get a little more damage in there. Wasn't sure if Kez was going to be able to finish it before the TP or the Destiny Gate was finished channeling. Oh, comes up big there, and Alex now has a blue buff. Handed it off to him, and now he's going to be able to harass this lane even more. I don't think he's back since then. Yeah, he's sitting on 1,300 gold, and so is OQ in that top lane.
You can start to see how Apex are responding. Trance, whoa, getting aggressive onto Police. Snare is going to miss, but the item has been switched up. It's going to be a Negatron cloak for Keane as he looks for an Abyssal first, while Police continues the theme of Swifty boots early on.
Yeah, I'm seeing that more and more from these AD carries. It's just very consistent. Shrimp coming around the side. Alex, hey! That's not a chicken!
Surprise! Whoa, gets caught by the gold card. Collateral damage! Oh! Lamb's Respite is able to keep him standing. Kez with just enough mana.
Oh, you are shooting somebody in the face with a shotgun point blank and they don't die. That was insane. Kez throws down the Lamb's Respite right in time. Junglers are just answering each other this game. Shrimp, a lot of the times he'll get out of hand and he'll just be all over the map, and Kez is matching his pressure. Kez is calling him out and being able to save his laner.
Yeah, Cris might have found some time on that bottom tier 1, but unfortunately gets caught by the turret. There goes a binding to find OQ. Still level 5. No, he actually is level 6.
Oh.
As evidenced by the True Shot barrage he just fired.
Here comes Shrimp. Shrimp looking. Oh, boy.
He's looking for
Gotta
the
be careful.
2 goes down. Cris is up there as well as he teleported. Trance is low and gets dropped. Meanwhile, Kez on the far side finds some damage onto Cris. That Chrono Break is still available. The minion wave is just about to get there. Who's going to be the one who gets the kill? There goes the flash. Keane gold card stuns onto OQ, and Police gets that valuable kill as 5 members of Apex take the top tier 1.
Flarezs, no TP. Look at that again and see what happened, because he ended up having to use it earlier to try and go to that mid lane, and they just ended up capitalizing on it. As soon as they saw that Maokai had channeled TP and canceled it mid, they started to execute that play on the top side that just gave them an advantage here. So that's Apex taking a lead now of about 1,600 gold.
Large opening for Apex. After the initial skirmishes and ganks, they're coming out on top. Cris is very low
a little
health
greedy
here. Yeah, Kez is there as well. He's got his flash. His shield buys him some time. There's the slow. He's trying to bait out the Chrono Break. He finds Trance. Oh, there's the Chrono Break, but Kez is already ready. Flashes with red buff to keep up, and Kez gets the kill.
Now Kez ends up picking him up. I'm going to check on Kez really quickly here on 1 stack. That's it. So root onto Trance. Trance pretty much eats everything here. The TP comes through. You see Kez is desperately on his way, but the play's already been in motion, and Alex is super late to get here as well. So Trance just gets picked up. Shrimp underneath the turret, and now Kez is dealing whatever damage he can, and OQ is trapped. OQ, he's basically waiting for his doom at this point as Keane comes around, blows his flash, doesn't have the mana to actually get out.
Yeah, Cris actually followed him with the
phase dive.
Phase dive.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But he followed him through that flash.
Yeah, it happens a lot. You follow people, even like Twisted
Over
Advance
walls.
from Maokai, it's pretty much the same mechanic. Regardless of how far they go, it's going to make you make contact with them. Oh, that was nice. Nice grenade.
Yep, Police stacking up as best he can. Currently 9 CS ahead of OQ. Uh-oh, here comes some help. Kez is down there.
Shrimp is here too, though.
Behind him. There goes a flash.
Gotta watch the burst.
This is Police at low health. True Shot barrage is not enough to kill him. Remember, Kez still has the Lamb's Respite, so
he has
red
red buff.
Play around this. There goes the ultimate. Curtain Call finds one.
Oh, boy.
It's up to number 4. Bullet 4. Oh, finds OQ, but not the target he was looking for.
That's what I hate about Jhin, is Jhin gets to trade with you in lane, and you can be like, okay, we're both 1/4 HP, good fight, man. And then you back off, and then he gets to still try to kill you from a safe distance. Even if you guys trade back and forth and you get half HP, he gets to back off and try to kill you, and you have to play the mini game of dodging his bullets instead of CSing for that remainder of the time, or trying to get HP back.
Yeah. Well, that's the conundrum. Some people see that, and they immediately decide, oh, Jin's ulting, I guess I'm going in.
Yeah.
And you immediately try to head into the cone and find it.
He's way deep, though, and he always has the support, so
yeah.
It's so difficult to actually get to Jhin while he's channeling the ultimate.
And every once in a while, you find him unprotected, and you're like, all right, sweet.
Yeah.
An actually immobile champion.
True.
Who's currently channeling.
True.
You just lock him down.
But yeah, he's incredibly powerful for many reasons, that being one of them as well. So his trades usually are very strong,
yeah.
And then even if it doesn't go in his favor, he still has kill potential afterwards.
The harass lane, so far pretty successful. OQ going for this typical tier Ezreal, trying to stack up as best he can. Has a Sheen now as well, as he looks for the Iceborne Gauntlet. Going to help him survive some of the damage that Police and Shrimp will be putting out, but still has to be a little bit afraid because that takes time to ramp up. Kez is back bottom once again. Police at half health and Xpecial at 2/3 are pretty far forward.
It is so hard to find a good engage, especially onto this Karma with all this movement speed. No flash?
No, Xpecial already used his flash in the previous gang. Kez on a killing spree, waits it out, and picks up the kill.
Yeah, I love how he's not marking the person either, because a lot of the times you're like, why isn't he marking? Well, they'll play really scared when you start to mark them. Whenever somebody starts getting marked, they'll back up a little bit. You can play mind games with it, but it would definitely tip off Xpecial that they're about to try and kill him.
So that's the bottom tier 1 going down for Apex. TDK are able to get it. OQ gets that gold. Rift Herald was taken on the other side of the map, and after a recall...
Oh, they're trying to collapse on him. They left him.
Yeah, OQ left all alone. Oh, no! There goes the curtain call. Lamb's Respite used preemptively. And, in fact, it's canceled. There it is. Flarezs knows what I'm talking about. He finds Police while he's channeling and kills him. OQ getting a little bit too deep for his own good. Shrimp leaves him on his own while Cris finds Kez. There's no respite. He used it to try saving OQ. Shut down by Keane. That's 2 for 1 Apex.
And Alex had backed in the mid lane. Alex shoved up the wave, didn't roam, and then Keane pops the ulti.
Surprise! There goes a flash. Gold card finds Flarezs, and he goes down to Keane. Meanwhile, the mid-tier 1 is traded, and Alex drops the turret. It's going to be attacking minions right now.
And the bot turret, though, is going to go down as well. So Cris is going to be able to pick that one up. And Apex are still getting the better of that fight and that trade after everything's all said and done. Alex, though, has that mid lane turret. See what ends up happening as they clear out the jungle. And the Dragon goes over to Apex. Good map play from Apex as well. Even though they have kind of a risky fight at the start, they're able to pick it up. Shrimp, once again, shows up right place, right time. Gets OQ, almost, but the TP's right next to Police, and he's like, oh, I've made a mistake.
I need an adult.
And OQ has to flash forward for that. Oof. Yeah, so he doesn't have flash here. Burns the heal, blows up. Shrimp able to annihilate him. And then Kez, oh man. Everybody's just getting left, and you can see Alex is still running down the mid lane at this point. He brought the cleanse. I don't know how much he's actually had to use it this game. Keane just avoids him as a target, mainly because he has cleanse. And Keane is just focusing side lanes. So the cleanse from Alex, you know, it's not a TP. It's not going to help him get to these side lanes and actually answer Keane and the double TP of Apex. So double TP is always something that when you see it and you don't have it, it really sucks. It's becoming one of those things. The only thing that beats it is matching it, or having a really aggressive Ignite assassin and just destroying the guy.
So that Scuttle Crab was picked up by Kez for another hunt stack, second stack.
This is only his second stack of the game.
16.5 minutes in. Police gets caught out by Alex, takes some big damage from the turret, but the combo is so clean. And Police gets a kill onto Alex. The mid-tier 1 goes down in trade for the top tier 1. 3 for 2 right now, about to become 3 for 3. But Apex aren't done. They're looking for the tier 2.
And this is really good by Apex. They sent Keane to the top side. Keane has flash. Keane is 100% fine, and he has wave clear as the Twisted Fate. It's going to be so hard to take that top tier 2 and not get punished for it. And they're going to actually blow that flash of his. So they actually zone him out. Really good job there. But see, look at that. He already did the damage. He already cleared half that minion wave out. And now they're getting collapsed on here. Keane has the ultimate. He can rejoin and spot everybody out.
OQ and Kez are split off. A little bit of miscommunication there.
Boy.
Kez forced to take the long way around. Red Buff is going to find him. Police has been found indeed. Oh no, he's so low. The Lamb's Respite. Kez is going to end up going down when it's all said and done. And nope. There he goes. On the other side, though, OQ was caught out by Keane, so he ended up dropping to, I believe, Cris.
Yeah, and Cris and Keane were able to go after OQ there, and OQ, this entire series has just been shut down. He had a good performance despite his team losing yesterday, but this is not the same type of performance from OQ. He is being singled out as the sole threat of TDK, and they are able to focus him down. Kez is the secondary right now, and Alex is just not getting a piece of these fights. He's taken out. He can't do anything. He just respawned, and now Kez getting chased down, and you can see OQ trying to run, gets ulti, gets stunned by Cris, and Trance has to leave him. There's nothing he can do about it. The Janna being banned out, rather smart from Apex, because now they don't have that ultra peel champion for OQ to keep him safe and allow him to play on that front line.
Yeah, so unfortunate to see that TDK are not quite able to play around OQ and let him do the work he's looking for. Meanwhile, Cris and Keane have been complete bash brothers in this series. The two of them are doing so much work all across the map. And with the assistance of the hyper-aggressive Shrimp, it really seems like Apex have control of the game once again.
Yeah, it's so weird because Shrimp is very aggressive, but he's able to flow between the different types of aggression, right? Going into the enemy jungle and picking up their camps and farming and out-farming them and then making sure you have a level advantage, or just flat out ganking all the lanes. He's very fluid and very adjustable. And this guy hasn't seen top-tier professional play yet. He almost did last year, but now he's going to try to qualify for the second time. And the team right now, a little bit on his backs.
Cris looking to zone out Kez. Not going to find a stun. There's the Destiny Gate. Keane is actually going to look for a kill. Is he going to be able to get the goal? No, he's actually joining up with his team. There goes the teleport out from Flarezs.
Oh!
Curtain Call has been dropped. Trance is going to take some big damage. But so far, Keane is split from the rest of his team. Flarezs chases him down. Cris is there to back him up. So too is Shrimp. Flarezs is going to have to flash the wall unless he can make it over. True Shot Barrage goes wide. Snare is going to miss. Still no sign of police. Finally, he's going to catch up, and TDK retreat into the safety of their own jungle.
Oh, man. Alex in this fight, he throws out the Emperor's Divide, and then he just has to get out again. Oh, he flanks the fight, but he still has everybody on his backside, and they aren't able to pick anybody up there, and that's Riptail going over to Apex.
Oh, they forgot the buff. They can't stay for the buff.
They're getting chased off. Xpecial.
Oh, he's got a splash, so he should be fine. The snare is going to
Shrimp.
Kez. Shrimp is doing some big damage. Keane goes down to OQ in the combined efforts of Alex. Oh, he's still got the limbs. There's the respite finally wearing off.
Oh, TP on the top side here. Cris is trying to get another piece of this fight, and he has home guard. Alex!
Oh no, there goes the long slide. Decides to settle instead for Trance. Snare is going to help him out. He gets the kill before he catches up to OQ. Still is able to land the slow. Can't connect with the third part of it. Phase dive is just about off cooldown. He catches up. There's the Iceborne. Flash used. The snare gets it. Police from long range, from downtown secures it. Cris is not done. He's still got the chrono break. He's able to get out the stun. Double kill for Police. There's just nothing TDK can do.
Ekko's chase down is ridiculous. How do you deal with that? OQ, I mean, he doesn't have Swifties. Maybe that's the answer to this. You just get chased down so heavily. The slow is really intense, and then the movement speed increase that you end up getting is Ekko. It's just unfair. You can see right here, everybody's still rather chunked out. Cris gets to go over the wall and back in the left side bush. TP comes through from Keane. They're able to lock him up. He's still trying to sift through his cards and find the yellow one. Alex then uses his cleanse. Cris gets to back now because Kez and Trance didn't walk forward. Even though Shrimp was a little bit out of mana, they didn't want to risk it. OQ still on that bot side as well. He has to walk all the way around because he went so deep. It's just the allocation of numbers there as well. And now it's just the chase down. Cris by himself able to stall all three. Iceborne Gauntlet. He doesn't even have Swifties. It's straight up Mercs.
Once again, I feel like I've seen this. Trance is able to flash out of one. He ends up going down to Cris.
Cris having a great series. He's the guy that's always been that bar for the LCS top laners. And now he's having a great day. Yesterday, not his day at all. He was having a horrible time up in that top lane. And now it's the complete opposite. Cris has been a commanding force. His Rise had to get banned out, and he still was able to play this Ekko. And Flarezs has been struggling all series long.
And the blue side priority really coming up big for Apex as they're now sieging the top tier 2 turret. Now, Dragon did go down in the meanwhile. That was #1 for TDK. But Keane is getting some alone time with this mid-inhib turret. Nobody's there to protect it. It's chunked down to a quarter health before TDK can finally respond and clear the wave. And Apex are just running TDK around the map. Top, mid, back top again. The question is, what's next? Apex, how can they continue to capitalize on this enormous advantage?
Well, you almost have your teleports back up. Keane almost has his ultimate backup. There's a Baron. You can ward that up. You can start to bait it. You can 1-3-1 rather effectively. Karma helps your main unit get away by using Mantra E and having the Defiance and getting out of there. So the movement speed increase would be something that isn't matched by TDK. They'd have to TP flank on their own. So Apex, they have a lot of tools to actually close this game out. And here's the kicker, though, is Alex hasn't really been a part of these fights to the effect that he would like to be. If Alex can get in here, get one more item, get a Void Staff, get a Death Cap, like, he'll be good to go. Late game Azir is no joke. But he's been invisible this game.
Minimal impact, currently 1-1-1 in a 19-kill game. He's been involved in 3 kills.
Yeah, one on him as well.
And the siege begins for TDK. They've got some good damage. There goes the Destiny. Gate puts him on a flank. Flash gold card finds Kez. They can't lock him down. Trying to bait out the rest, but they succeed. TDK are grouped up under the Azir turret. This bullet number 4 finds some good damage. Cris just used his phase dive, so he's going to have
Trance is caught.
catching up, but Trance is caught in deep. Shrimp goes down. Cris is looking to catch up. They're going to ambush the fight. He still finds the stun, though, onto Alex. Oh, snare from the far side as Keane teleported in from the back. And they're just cleaning this up. Apex slowly but surely, mercilessly chasing down TDK. Cris overextends, but he's just fine with it. There goes a chrono break to get even more health. Flarezs now caught in the snare. He's going to end up dropping to Police, who is a monster this game.
5-1-5 for Police, and he's been able to just shut down OQ. Somebody who's been having fantastic week, all week, even the games they lost. And this is not OQ's day. I've been talking about how people are having their days on, days off. OQ, he's just getting shut down, and it's the same thing that happened in the Challenger Finals. All of that damage across Kez, trying to bait this out, because now you have the chase down. You have the slows onto Flarezs. Trance has to turn and throw down the pillar to slow Cris, and it ends up being what gets him. Oh, man. And then Cris flashes in. Alex stops himself for just a second. He has to cleanse and get out. Oh, he dodges it, so Kez eats that. Police. Oh, man. The deadly flourishes have been on point this game.
This guy's been landing some monster skill shots. There goes the cleanup once again. Poor Flarezs can't even walk through the safety of his own base gates.
Nope. It's too dangerous. Your base is too dangerous.
Cris,
everything's too
will
dangerous.
Not stop. I feel like we had a nameplate swap.
It's a bad world for a tree. Run.
Can't stand up to the ravages
of
TP.
TP.
Yeah, there goes the Destiny Gate and TP. Keane finds a stun onto Kez. He goes down before he's getting a chance. That was with the curtain call bullet from long range. He's still got 2 more left. Let's see where the last one's going to go. He finds it onto Trance, but doesn't have enough to secure the kill. Now they're sieging the top lane. Actually, with Kez dead, they might look for the Baron instead. They've got vision control of the pit. It's been a long enough time, but it's 5v4 right now.
Baron spotted out here. They're going to see the startup have a little bit more fade vision. Look at that. All the trinkets come down at once. TDK trying to overflow them with vision. Kez will not be a part of this fight. It's going to be a 5-on-4, and the poke damage is going to be so important. 6,000 HP on that Baron. As they start it up, they're going to have to walk through a bunch of traps.
5v4, Cris gets in. He gets a 4-man stun, plus a snare on top of it. He single-handedly 1v4 buys enough time for Apex to secure the Baron. Flarezs is even caught. Buys a bit of time with some regen, but gets locked down and destroyed. Apex once again with the Baron buff. 4 out of 4 Barons in this series. 2-0 over Apex. This could be the beginning of the push that puts them into the LCS.
That was the gold card used right then, and Kez is not going to take that opportunity. Instead, now he's going to jump on it. And he's already been shuffling the cards. Not going to jump on that. Mid turret going down there, and you were talking about Cris. Cris, he's qualified time and time again for the LCS and has played so many splits. He might have just qualified himself to play another here.
Yeah, if Alex was the summer, the promotion tournament king, does that make Cris the Duke?
No, he's the god.
The god of promotion tournaments. Doing huge this game. 5-1-9. This stun is just ridiculous.
Yeah, look at where those traps are. Those captive audiences are just being thrown down there. Police is like, if they come around this corner, 1, 2, they're going to get slowed. So he throws down the parallel convergence, jumps in, and boom! They're going to take the damage on top of it. The root comes through onto Flarezs. Just so much damage. And Cris, yeah, that was Cris. Start to finish there. That engage. And they still kill the Baron during that as well. They didn't have to peel off and try to deal that much damage to Flarezs. It happened pretty much as they were doing the Baron. So they were able to have their cake and eat it too. And Apex looking for that 3-0 over TDK and improving on how they did in the Challenger Finals against this squad.
Yeah, how do you beat a 3-1 with a 3-0?
Math isn't that difficult.
All right, 29 minutes into the game, Apex are ahead with triple the kills, about to be double the turrets. They've had control of every single Baron in this series, breaking down the mid inhibitor and now looking for the inhib itself. They took the turret. Keane is splitting with the Destiny available.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for TDK. The entire series has 13,000 gold down for TDK. And Apex, they start to push down these inhibitors, and there isn't much TDK can do. Alex tickles Cris.
Yeah, not enough damage. Keane pulls the rest of the team towards his side of the map. Baron is still on Team Apex for about another 45 seconds. So they're going to look for the top tier 2 as they send everyone else.
I'm sitting here going, if Apex close this game out, who's player of the series?
That's
right?
It's a really hard question.
How?
Everyone's played huge.
Yeah, Police has had fantastic scorelines. He didn't let OQ get out of hand. Keane has been catching OQ every time. Shrimp setting up the early game, and Cris has been steamrolling. And Xpecial's also had a really good squad. Like, everybody, a really good set of games. And everybody on the squad has been doing so well.
Ooh. Good Pillar is going to deny the final 2 bullets of the curtain call, but Baron buff has now worn off. Once again, Keane splitting on the far side. Cris going 1v3 to buy time for the rest of his team. He's still got the chrono break. Could that throw away in, and that was Subjugate.
Yes, that was Subjugate. That's why he decided to just get out of there. Subjugate was used. He's just buying time. Keane gets that bottom inhibitor turret, and he's just so slippery. They get Keane, but there's the teleport on the backside.
Cris is collapsing. Keane buying time with the Zhonya as he flashes.
OQ!
Out. He's still alive, and OQ is dead. But Keane is still alive. Kez drops the Lamb's Respite. Police is going to help him out with that. There goes a huge Emperor's Divide as Police finally gets that last one. Alex runs for his life. That's 3 members dead. Soon to be 4 as the snare lands. Flarezs is dead as well. 5v1, and Apex are on the Nexus turrets. 3-0 over TDK and climbing their way into the North American LCS Summer Split 2016.
Apex with the clean 3-0, everybody stepping up. TDK, it looks like they didn't even stand a chance.
Yeah, a dominant performance from Apex. And it did look a little rocky in the start. You know, game 1, the first 20 minutes was a bit touch and go, but then they got into their groove, and it was smooth sailing for the next 3 games.
And TDK, when they took out Dignitas, we knew we were going to have at least one new squad in the LCS. It came down to the 2 challenger teams playing each other, rematch of the finals, and it's the same result. Apex on top. We're going to be seeing this team plus Eve, the flex jungler, in the LCS for 2016 summer.
Yeah, shaking hands right now. TDK will make it now into the Challengers Series summer split, so we won't see the last of them. They'll be playing with Dignitas, along with Team Liquid Academy and Team Ember. So we'll see how that works out. But Apex, 3-0 with some very clean games. Police was all over the place. Shrimp, pretty much everywhere. Anytime the fight broke out, it was like, oh, there's there as well.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes he's starting them. Sometimes he's like, let's just dive this guy, get you very far ahead on this Ekko. And it was very difficult to deal with every member of Apex. I'm sure the comms in these team fights are absolutely hectic because who do you go after? Yeah, put those on. He removed his shoes at Challenger, and he puts them on an LCS Pro.
It's a good way to start your day.
Yeah, it's like 2:45. He's got the rest of the day.
Yeah. And again, that was just a huge performance from Apex in general. Just looking at some of the scorelines at the end, Cris went 7-1-10 by the end of that game with a 16 kill participation out of the 23 on his team. Excuse me, 17, 7-1-10.
I told you math isn't that difficult.
No, yeah, and 17 divided by 1 is...
It is, actually. On stream, it's difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, and that's going to be Alex losing his first promotion tournament straight out. There's one that he didn't qualify for, but otherwise, he's made it, and he's always been able to make it into the LCS. And now that we're going to see an LCS without Alex, without Flarezs, And that's the first time in, I believe, 2 splits, because Flarezs played for Renegades, and he also played previously on Enemy. So there's
a couple of changes
yeah,
coming to the NALCS summer.
As things change, the more they stay the same. Xpecial is back, Keane's back, Cris is back, and now we're going to have Shrimp and Eve in there. And I'm really excited to see what they do, because LCS moves to best of 3s. This flex jungler is now going to work out perfectly. In best of 1s, it's much harder to do. You're like, who's playing today for this one match? Who's playing this day for that one match? This is a great strategy, and they've been developing it, so they're already a little bit ahead of the curve in that sense. Because other teams are going to say, okay, well, do we want that same thing? And they're going to have to get a jungler. They're going to have to, or a substitute that's on that level, and find somebody that can have that healthy competition with one of their members. But Apex have that over some of the squads. They ended up losing yesterday to Tip, which was surprising because Tip looked very dominant, and today Apex looked really good. So I want to see where Apex end up in that ranking of the LCS next split.
Well, you asked it earlier at the end of the game, who could we possibly claim as our player of the series? Well, we're going to go with Keane. He's going to be getting this series on honors. He had a massive Game 1 on Graves and provided Apex with some huge global pressure on Twisted Fate in Games 2 and 3.
Yeah. What he was able to do was get onto OQ to shut down that carry and just make it so easy for his team. He was saved a lot by Shrimp, but Keane came up big, 100% kill participation, and his Graves was just super, super good. Very dirty play from him, that death stance and just kiting people around. Absolute pleasure to watch this guy. And the thing is, they also picked blue side for all of their games. So they didn't try to lean on the crutch of Keane back on Gravity, the large win rate on red side versus blue. Able to shore that up. They didn't care if they gave counter pick over to Alex. They wanted that priority top laner. And he was still able to perform with early picks like Graves and Twisted Fate in the draft after we'd seen the Azir picked.
Yeah, this guy was all over the place with these wins over this 3-0 series. Huge kill share in game number 1. Not quite so much in game number 2, but was able to clean it up in game number 3 with another 3 kills of his own. So really, it's good to see that the team is successfully able to play around their multiple win conditions. You know, Keane going off huge, Shrimp. As we said, the list goes on of people who are just absolutely huge in that series.
There's an argument for pretty much everybody in that game. Keane was able to help them, though, open up the mid lane. Alex was not able to answer. That was the big thing, is Alex not taking TP in 2 of those games. Keane was just playing to the side lanes and trying to get those ahead, and Alex was trying to just barrel down the mid lane and wasn't really finding success with it. And in the game he did take TP, they focused him down.
Yeah.
They just tried to kill Alex over and over again. So it was really a rough day for that mid lane for Alex, but Keane had a fantastic day.
He certainly did. And now, speaking of Alex, and joining us on the desk is Xpecial Alex Chu. How you doing, man?
Good. Man. Good to be back.
You see how I got that in there?
Super smooth, man.
Hey, congratulations on the win. That is really great. 3-0. How does it feel to be back in the LCS?
A relief, honestly. After yesterday's games, we were really confident going in, and then to lose in such a fashion, we were all really disheartened. And today we were like, all right, yesterday's game, don't worry about that. Make sure you show up today. And I think we did do pretty well today.
Is it just that simple to say, don't worry about yesterday's game? Is there anything that you guys really had to like get off your shoulders and just be like, you know, get this behind us, moving forward? Was there anything special that you guys ended up doing?
I wish we did. I wish I could say something about that. But honestly, we were just all just sulking, just like, oh man, knowing that we had to play the next day, and then we had to wake up even earlier. It was the schedule was a little wonky. Insane.
Well, it was a great recovery over this series. I mean, game number 1 looked a little bit shaky in the beginning, but then I believe you guys took one team fight around the mid lane and around the top, the double teleport play where you guys collapsed, and from there on out, it was smooth sailing.
Yeah, compared to yesterday, our team fights were a lot less crisp. I mean, yesterday was a lot less crisp, and we often got initiated on yesterday. Tip was really good at collapsing and using their TPs effectively, and today we kind of wanted to make sure that we're the ones taking initiative and making the plays and starting team fights, and that's what we did, and we did that really well.
And everybody was really surprised by the performance that Tip put up against you guys. You guys actually came in favorites in that matchup, and now Tip, did they just get much better? Where do you guys think that you stand in the LCS standings now that you've joined them?
Definitely hard to say. One of the biggest things is that in these next few months, because a lot of teams are taking breaks, we're going to see if we can maybe boot camp in Korea and try to improve and just work on more things. And honestly, our performance yesterday was very bad. It was not LCS level, and we are very disappointed. So even with today's games, which were decent, that doesn't make up for the poor games that we had yesterday. So we need to work on our team play, work on more of our strategy, and we can't afford to lose to Tip. I mean, they're good, but if we want to be one of the best, we can't lose to a team that's playing in promotion.
Yeah, and that's actually something that we've been talking about a little bit. The fact that we are moving to best of threes in the summer with the whole even shrimp double jungle. How do you think you guys are going to be able to deal with that? Well, I mean, utilize it, I guess I should say.
It's kind of funny, actually. At the very beginning, we weren't sure if actually going to do the double jungle, but as the weeks went by, we noticed huge strengths from certain areas and some weaknesses, and then we would just fill them in as we needed for picks or meta or whatever, or just even against different teams. And that is a huge advantage that people probably didn't really think about in the very beginning. It's like, oh, maybe they're kind of similar. Might be like the Hui pull out thing from CLG last year, right? Nobody, Hui didn't play his own game.
Yeah.
But here, we were actually utilizing it to a very effective way, and with best of threes, I think it's going to be even better.
And so I asked Cris about this, where what was the big difference for him, and he was talking about how Shrimp plays to the top lane. What's the big difference for you between the two junglers and what you have to bring to the game when each one is subbed out?
Well, I mean, looking at these games, this whole tournament in general, it was pretty much bot lane, try to not die. They're going to be capping bottom, and let's try to send our pressure elsewhere and use our double TPs that way. Third game, I was a little greedy, and I shouldn't have died, but generally we don't focus bottom too much because we are very self-sufficient, and teams love to camp bottom, and we're usually really good at avoiding ganks. And when I play these two junglers, I don't really notice too big of a difference because I'm always like, I have to tell them where to go, like try to get on the same page. Initially, Eve, his English wasn't as good, and that became an issue at the very beginning. But as time went on, they pretty much, I mean, Shrimp and Eve talk to each other, they help each other, and it's a very, very brotherly bond that usually you don't expect when two players are trying to compete for a spot.
Mm-hmm. Well, Xpecial, you've been in the LCS on and off for the past few years. Well, I guess this is the first time off in a long time. Heck, your picture is on the wall behind us over here. You're back in now. A lot of people have been talking about the Xpecial legacy. Now you're back in. Is this the end of the Xpecial legacy now that you're back in the LCS? Is this the final summer split, or are we going for Worlds 2016, baby?
I mean, I'm not going into LCS being, all right, I'm probably done here. This is where it ends. It's hard to say. People get better, teams get better, and I have to keep up and just do even better. I think this break really helped me refocus and really helped me focus on what I need to work on, which was I felt that in-game shot calling was something that I really needed to do. I felt like with my experience, and this is a good opportunity for me to do that. And I've been working on that. Still needs work here and there, but talking a lot has always been what I'm good at. But now talking about how to progress the game is something that I'm working towards.
And what do you think is one of the things that you're going to be working on in the offseason to try and up your game? You're talking about boot camping in Korea. You're talking about learning the shot calling. What's the next step for Xpecial? What do you think right now is where you need to be heading?
Great question. Honestly, it's hard to tell what exactly you need to work on. I think a little bit of everything is the easiest way to say it. Work on more picks, playing champions better, talk more. Like it's everything. It's never just one specific thing. If it was really that easy, then I guess I could probably fix that. But usually it's always a little bit of everything. You're like good at, decent at everything, but what can you get better at? And it's the little increments that really determine the best from the good.
Well, very solid. Xpecial, thank you so much for joining us.
I want to ask you one final question here. All right. So we've talked about your legacy a decent amount here. I want to ask you, now that you've requalified for the LCS, you're back, people can kind of, and there are people who are going to be like, oh, Xpecial's back, and they jump back on that train. What do you want to say to your fans that have followed you all the way through the Challenger Series, even though you faltered a little bit, and now you're back in the LCS?
I think what I would tell them is that this wasn't a easy thing to do. It was I had to fall down and pick myself back up and realize, okay, what do I actually want to do? How far do I want to go? Does this end here? And along the way, it wasn't easy. We had tough games. We had losses. Yesterday's loss was especially tough. And I knew that coming into today, that if we had not won, I probably would just retire. Because there are times when you just have to be like, this is my goal. If I can't meet this goal, I have to be done. I have to move on. And for me, this is a huge relief because it means that, okay, this time wasn't wasted. This time was used well, and I accomplished something. And that's something that was really tough. I mean, to fall down and to pick myself back up, it's always tough to do. And right now, I feel really relieved that I'm back in LCS and that I can prove to my fans and just show my fans that, hey, maybe I can be back and can do really well.
Very solid. Well, Xpecial, congratulations on making it back into the LCS.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, feels good. Well, with the promotion tournament complete, let's check out the teams that will be competing in the upcoming summer split. Now, 9 of these teams should look familiar, but Team Dignitas has lost their spot and will be replaced by APX.
Of course, out with one yellow team, in with the other one. So the logos, we have another yellow and black logo. Of course, looks a little different, but yes, of course, we still have the playoffs that will be coming to the semifinal rounds starting tomorrow. But right now, this looks like a very competitive league. We're seeing that Tip stepped up in the promotion tournament, and Ekko Fox, you know, they didn't have their full roster for the entirety of the spring split. So this is just looking more and more competitive. Renegades are stepping up. What are the standings going to look like with these rosters when they're just fleshed out? Everybody's had that time to synergize. And remember, the spring split, a lot of the times we're sitting there going, new players, new teams, rookies, how are they synergizing? What's going on? And then summer. A lot of these teams were playing for summer, trying to get through this tournament and say, okay, now we play to go to Worlds. Now we play for that final spot.
Yeah, well, now is the time. However, that's going to do it for us tonight. But the action picks back up tomorrow with the North American LCS Playoffs semifinals, starting off with Counter Logic Gaming versus Team Liquid at noon. Then on Sunday, be sure to swing by for the #1 NALCS seed Immortals versus TSM. The action starts immediately following the European Spring semifinals. So in fact, it could be anywhere around noon, give or take by those spring finals. But once again, congratulations to Apex. We look forward to seeing you compete in the upcoming summer split. Now for myself, Zirene, Xpecial, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you so much for watching, and good night. Already getting into this, and you've got to start to wonder, you know, Apex, they came in looking so strong coming out of the Challenger Series. Cris found Oki on the far side. Does he have enough damage to drop him down? Not quite, as Cris gets locked down and killed.
Kindred.
Okay, Cookie flash, Cookie no flash.
Kindred.
Watch Calista.
Kindred do flash.
Yeah.
Hey, slowly.
Apex have done it. They're taking game #1.
Wait, all.
On Ekko. I have one. Ekko. I got it, okay.
Nice.
Better.
Flash Snare finds Kez, plus a gold card. He goes down. It's an ace. Apex are on the Nexus turrets. They're taking the Nexus itself. Shrimp leaves him on his own while Cris finds Kez. There's no rest, but he used it to try saving OQ. Shut down by Keane. Flash used. The Snare gets it. Police from long range, from downtown secures it. Cris is not done. He's still got the chrono break. He's able to get out the stun. Double kill for Police. And climbing their way into the North American LCS Summer Split 2016.